Hi, and welcome to another edition of Counselor's Corner. My name is Jeremy Counseller, and I'm the Dean of Baylor Law School, and I'm very, very pleased today to be joined by third-year law student, soon-to-be law school graduate, Christa Walton. Christa, welcome, and how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're very welcome. One thing that interests me is your path to law school was a bit non-traditional. And I think that a lot of people use the term non-traditional in a variety of different ways, but you had a bit of a career before you decided to go to law school. Will you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I worked in the music industry. I had a signed contract as an artist and as a songwriter, so I would write for other artists at Universal Music Group.
That's pretty cool.
It was a really cool experience. It was.
So did you get any songs out into the world? Like, was somebody performed them?
I did. Yes.
All right, so you've got this career going, and you've had at least some success, and then you're like, I want to be a lawyer.
Yes.
So how does that happen? How do we go from point A to point B?
Yeah, I just wasn't happy, and I felt very isolated in the music industry as I had no connections. It was really just me and a bunch of these successful people, and it just came to a point where I wanted to do something else with my life. And so I asked my lawyer if there was any way I could get out of this ironclad contract. And he was very strategic, and I felt like he was the first person in a long time to actually help me and listen to me. And so the day he emailed me and said, "You're out, you can move on with your life," I went to Barnes & Noble and bought an LSAT prep book, because it was just, I was so grateful for him to do it. First of all, pro bono, but then to do it at all.
So had you already decided that you wanted to go to law school before the lawyer helped you, or was the lawyer's help what inspired you or solidified your decision?
I would say, yeah, my lawyer helping me solidified that, wow, lawyers really do help people. So, and I wanted to do that for someone else.
Okay. It doesn't sound like you are going to be the same sort of lawyer as the one you mentioned who helped, but you are going to help. I mean, what you're going to do is really a service. You are going to work where after graduation?
The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office.
Okay. If I'm remembering correctly, I think being a prosecutor has been something you've had your sights on throughout law school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? What is it about that job that makes you want to do it?
When I started learning more about the law in 1Q classes, I was just drawn to criminal law because I think there's a lot of great that can be done on both sides. I could see myself as defense or as prosecutor, and it just kind of happened that the opportunity to be a prosecutor opened up first, and I'm just very excited. So I just think it's important work that needs to be done.
Yeah. It is. It's good work. I was a prosecutor for 5 minutes, and it was a good 5 minutes.
You learned a lot.
Yeah, it was good. Now, there's a reason why there's something that helped you be able to go do, I think, an internship with the Philadelphia DA's office, which then led to your upcoming permanent employment, long-term employment. Talk about that, which we call the summer stipend program, the Baylor Law Career Development Fellowship. Talk about that.
Yeah, so when I was called by Larry Krasner, the DA, to say, we'd love to have you this summer, and I was so excited, I immediately was like, oh, it's going to be expensive. I don't have family to stay with in Philadelphia. I don't know anyone in Philadelphia. But I remember Austin Byram, who used to work here as a CDO, and he was like, we do have a program and a fellowship that can help for people that are working in internships that are unpaid. And so just having that reassurance that I could have some support meant the world to me.
Right. So there's something a lot of law students don't know is if you go to work in the summer for a law firm, likely that's a paid position. Often it's a paid position.
Right.
But if you want to do nonprofit work or you want to do public service work like for the government, they're typically not paid positions. And so how do you kind of finance that 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is? And so our program is to help cover as much of those costs as we can. So it's really good, and I'm glad that that benefited you.
Yes.
Now, am I reading this right that you have rescued a number of dogs?
Yes, I did not know that you knew that.
Talk to me about the dog rescue.
So a few weeks ago, I saw a man a little bit younger than me, and he had 7 dogs tied up in chains, and he was walking them. And I drove past, and I saw that one of the dogs was severely malnourished. And I just pulled over, and I was like, I'm not going to yell at you for the treatment of the dogs, but can I get you and these dogs some food? Because you guys are clearly not in a great situation. And he was like, you can take them if you want. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But I called Allie Barnett, who is another student here, and she and I have rescued dogs and cats in the past. And she's my next door neighbor. So she came over and we scooped up 3 of the dogs. And one had to get leg surgery. One is still in the vet in Dallas now. But it's something that we both like to do, is helping animals.
Very good. And what is the status of those dogs now?
They're doing better. The man wanted to keep 4 of the dogs, and we were not able to find housing for them anyways, so he's still living under a bridge with those 4 dogs. But we do bring them food and water and help in some ways that we can.
You're not my daughter, but I have daughters, and I just want to tell you, good heart, be careful. That's all I want to say.
Oh, I know.
I mean, if my daughter told me I walked up to a guy with 7 dogs in chains, I'd be like, okay, why? And she would say, because I want to help the dogs. And I'd be like, that's a good reason. But anyway, Christa, you got a big heart. I can tell why service is so important to you. Do your parents, loved ones know about this?
The dogs?
Well, how you acquired them.
Oh, yeah. I called my mom, and it was very emotional and very tiring, so I called her crying. I was like, this is happening. And she was like, okay, if you can, I'll buy them dog food. So
Okay.
they know.
All right, good. All right, let's talk about, because I think you have recently completed practice court.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, the skills you learned there are going to be very important for the career path you've chosen as a prosecutor and maybe someday a criminal defense attorney. Talk about your experience in practice court and what you thought of it.
I actually, in hindsight, really liked practice court. There were definitely some days while I was in it that I would not have said that. I was on a mock trial team at the same time, so that was a lot of work. But I talked to an alumni that actually works at the Philly DA office, and he was like, if you can handle PC, you can handle being an ADA. And so I had to remind myself that, if I want to be in a very work-heavy trial every day job, I need to be able to buck up and handle this. So I actually really liked it.
One of the things that happens in practice court, is you go through simulated trials.
Yes.
And you have a professor expert sitting in the corner of the room who can stop you, critique what you did, make you do it differently. So you sort of back up and do it again. I'm wondering just kind of what your reaction to that process was. Because like you, I was in practice court. In hindsight, I really appreciate practice court. But I'm just wondering how much you felt you learned about the advocacy skills that are going to be so important to you in your first job.
I think it's invaluable. I mean, it's great experience, even just dealing with feeling embarrassed, because when I was at my internship doing preliminary hearings, there are times where you feel embarrassed of being like, oh, that was not a good objection that I made. And that judge made that very clear to everyone in the courtroom. And so it just kind of teaches you to have thick skin, and also you're getting better because you're learning. So I appreciated it.
Yeah. It's kind of a question of everybody has to learn it. So when are you going to learn it?
Right.
You're going to learn it on the cheap in the classroom,
right,
where the stakes aren't actually very high. They may feel very high, and that's a good thing because it is a simulation. We want the stakes to feel high. Or do you want it to matter when you're actually in a courtroom? And so
Absolutely.
I think it's really important. So you are going to return to the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office after graduation, and I think you start in May?
No, I started in September.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that's
okay.
That's
So
why I'm a 10Q.
you're graduating in May. You don't start your job until September. I assume you're going to take the July bar exam, but the July bar exam ends in July, and then you will have a month and a half or so. What are you going to do with that time?
Probably rescue dogs in Philadelphia.
Really?
Probably. No, I think my parents might take me on a post-bar trip, but that's probably going to be to like Tennessee to see my sister, so nothing that crazy.
Okay.
I mean, Tennessee's great, but
yeah, Tennessee's great.
yeah.
Yeah. Memphis is fabulous. Are you going to go to Memphis?
I don't know. I've never been to Tennessee. They just moved to Knoxville. So.
Okay, that's good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Knoxville's good too. You got to value that because the vacation between jobs is the only real vacation you ever get, you know. So this one will be the last one for quite a while, I predict. Okay. We have come to the lightning round. It's tough. Questions are silly. Answers have to be short. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
If you have 2 hours of free time, would you read a book or watch a movie?
Watch a movie.
Music or podcast on a long drive?
Music.
Makes sense. Study in silence or with background noise?
Oh, with silence.
Favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Prefer texting or calling?
Calling.
Favorite kind of weather?
Cold. Rain.
This has given me a sense of the sort of music you may have written.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. Halloween and cold and wet. All right. Do you work best with a detailed schedule or flexible to-do list?
Detailed.
What is your favorite board game?
Clue. My cat's named after it.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Do you plan the trips or follow someone else's plan?
Follow someone else's plan.
Obviously, with this mystery trip to Tennessee. Concerts. I feel like we got to know you because these answers are consistent with, with the interview. Concert or sporting event?
Concert.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Airport, early arrival or just on time?
Early arrival.
Amen. Big group gathering or small circle?
Small circle.
Cook at home or go out to eat?
Ooh, you got me. Probably go out to eat.
Take photos or live in the moment?
Live in the moment.
Okay. I understand you may have a question for me.
Yes. I was actually curious, when you were a law student at Baylor Law, what was your least favorite or most difficult course?
I'm not trying to dodge the question, but I remember 2 points in law school that were difficult, and one is to do with the course. One is practice court.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't my least favorite. I am immensely grateful for practice court. But the challenge of just getting it all done and then steadily becoming more efficient, you know, that process where you learn, I can do more than I thought I could. But that ascending that curve is difficult. The other point I remember in law school was it was the beginning of the second year of law school, and I was so looking forward to it because I thought this is going to be so much better and less stress and anxiety than the first year of law school. And I got into the second year and I was like, it was different. I mean, the second year was definitely different, but I realized pretty quickly there is a lot more information that we're responsible for in every second year course because it's just, I mean, that's the year of law school where it is just not so much first year is about the skills, thinking and communicating like a lawyer, but the second year is like, here's a whole mountain of law that you're getting. And then I had some other responsibilities as well. I mean, you mentioned you were on a mock trial team. I was on a moot court team in the second year. And I just remember I had a carol. We still have carols here. I didn't go to law school in this building, but I had a carol, and I remember very vividly being at my carol going, this is going to be different than the first year, but it's not going to be easier. It's just going to be a challenge in a different way. But again, I'm really grateful for that because it was a challenge, and you meet the challenge, you get through the challenge, and you're closer to being a good professional, closer to being a good lawyer when you're on the other side of the challenge. So those are the two things I remember. I don't remember like a course that I was like, I don't like this course. I remember courses I thought, I am not going to like this course, and I did like it. So, for example, I really liked trusts and estates. Didn't think I would because I'd already thought I'm probably not going to practice in this area, but I really liked trusts and estates and really liked tax. I thought tax was really interesting. I'm like, I'm not going to be a tax lawyer. I already knew that in law school, or at least thought that was true. And I think something that I've taken from that and try to pass on to students is we can all have, like you, I think I want to be a prosecutor, but keep at least somewhat of an open mind so you don't shut yourself off to all these other possibilities. Because I really thought tax law was fascinating. I mean, really, really interesting. So I didn't go that route,
right?
But I thought it was interesting. And maybe if I'd had more of an open mind, I would have. But yeah.
Can I ask another question?
Sure you can.
Because I know you are a self-proclaimed Swiftie.
Yeah.
Is that a secret?
That's not a secret.
Oh, okay.
I'm quite open with the things that I enjoy
okay.
and do.
What is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
This is kind of embarrassing. It's Lover.
That's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I really like it.
Underestimated.
I really like that song.
Yeah.
I cannot, you may know the name of the song. She does a couple of songs with the guy from Bon Iver, however you say it. I like both of those. Mm-hmm. How do you say the name of the?
It's like French. It's like Bon Iver or something.
Okay.
I'm not French, but I probably botched it.
I like that group.
Yeah.
And I think, what's it? Do you know the lead singer's name? Is it Justin something?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I think his voice on the songs he does with her is completely different than it is on any of the group's own songs, and is really interesting.
Right.
But that would be my top Taylor Swift song. So
I learned so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you very much, Christa. This has been a joy, and you are going to do really, really well in your career and get off to a great start in Philadelphia. And congratulations on your upcoming graduation from law school.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for the education.
You're very welcome.